evening, everyone. My name is Priyanka. Welcome to our station. Tonight we will be talking about the recent election that had happened in Bangladesh, which we all are aware of, and where our one of the largest political party were not included, Bangladesh Awami League. We'll talk about that. What does that mean? And inclusivity, does that still say democracy? We'll also talk about a lot of our Awami League's leaders and workers has been arrested for with false or true cases. We don't know yet, but it's a large amount that it's a faulty cases. We'll talk about that. What happens to them? When can they get out? And also uh, we'll talk about democracy overall. And in fact, we'll talk about what do we look forward to in the future. Tonight, I'm joined by Professor Dr. Habibe Millat. Please welcome to our show, Bhaiya.
Thank you.
Bhaiya, you and I were talking about the election that has happened recently. We also talked about what happened to our people that has been arrested. In almost 2 years, a large amount of our people are arrested in prison. We are not getting them out of bail. And we have seen a few people try to get out within bail. And we also saw that within few hours, they were arrested back with different cases. So we'll talk about that. What's your thoughts on that? And also the very famous referendum, the one that we call July Charter. What do you think of that?
This 13th parliamentary election and referendum was very important for our nation. Because of more than 18 months, there was an unelected, unconstitutional interim government was in power. The level of country's law and order situation, justice, and mob lynching, mob violence, no rule of law was everywhere. And they banned Bangladesh Awami League with ordinance and also suspended the registration from the Election Commission according to the directive of interim government. So that's illegal. So when they failed in every sector, this interim government decided to give the election and have a safe exit. As because of they declared the election, they kept, as you said, not only the oldest and the biggest party in the country, but also few other parties who were alliance with Awami League, and those who are not alliance with the Awami League, they are left behind. They are forced not to participate in the election. That is not democracy. That is not participatory or inclusive election. So as an election part, I can say that in any democratic country, this type of election is unacceptable. They will not recognize this election as a democratic process because of people, a large segment of people didn't have the right to choose their own candidate. So this is not inclusive election or participatory election. And in the definition of democracy, that is unacceptable. Number two is that if you see the election, there is a rise of religious extremists. In Bangladesh's 55 years history, Jamaat-e-Islam and other Islamic party never got more than 22 parliamentary seats out of 300. This time, Jamaat-e-Islam alone got 68 seats and their alliance got about 77. That is more than 1/4 of the parliamentary seat. Not only that, Islami Andolan also got another seat. So altogether is 78. And also they will be getting their share in the upper house with similar or even more numbers. So that means the way interim government started, this religious extremist will try to run even harder way without democratic norm. Like women's movement and their lifestyle will be limited. minorities will be more tortured. There is more than 2,900 incident in last 18 months. It will be probably more than that. So law and order situation, mob violence, we do not know how it will happen. But if we talk about the election, there was another election, it's called referendum.
Yes.
There was 84 points in the July Charter. And with note of dissent, many parties has signed this paper. 47 out of 84 needs to be uh, changed by the constitution, and the remaining 37 can be done by ordinance. As we see the referendum, if we follow the constitution of Bangladesh, it is illegal and unconstitutional because you will not never know where you find any referendum in our constitution. Even though the July Charter, if you say the party signed with note of dissent, you will see that the ballot paper of the referendum was not or didn't respect those note of dissent. And other thing is that even the question 2, which involved in parliamentary PR system, that means proportional representation by the votes, which party whatever gets. But BNP chairperson, when he was declaring BNP's election manifesto, he declared that that will be done according to the number of the seat, whoever gets it. That will be according to the proportionate of the number of the seats, not the number of the votes.
Correct.
It means before the election, he denied that he will follow the referendum. So he was probably correct in a sense that he knew that referendum is illegal. And also that's why probably 212 out of 300 members of the parliament, actually 299, one is because of one candidate died. So there was no election there. It will be in near future. So out of 299, 212 member of parliament didn't sign the second oath paper because of they thought they are not going to the constitutional parliament. That's why it's already null and void. So you cannot expect from BNP or BNP, of course, even before the election, they declared that every party has their own manifesto and they have 31 points. They will implement 31 points to improve all aspects of Bangladesh. So I can say, if you say about election, 1 or 2, 3 words, that means the election was not inclusive or participatory, which is not recognized by the international community. Number 2, rise of religious extremism, which nobody in the world will accept that. And referendum, as because of more than 2/3 of the parliament member didn't sign or didn't agree, so it will not see the light. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. I was thinking while you're talking regarding BNP, it's very hard to trust what they say. Like you said, they refused to sign the constitutions, the second one, which is good. We were happy, but already now, whole day I've been seeing the news that one of the ministers, Salahuddin, he has been actually saying quite the opposite of contradictory of what he has been saying last few weeks. It's basically that now they're saying, but we have signed some form of July Charter, and I will be doing everything to protect the July. I thought they were going for investigations of the murders of our thousands police cops, but it doesn't seem like they will be doing that. So now they have already changed their mind. So they constantly changing what they're saying. Each of them says different things. It's very hard to believe what they're aiming for. But as you know, that a lot of our leaders and workers throughout whole Bangladesh has been arrested last 18 months, and without, some of them actually doesn't even have any cases. So they basically have arrested them, put them in a prison, and then they actually put a random made up case, just the heck of it, because they need to have something on them, and they're not getting any bails. and they're being quite tortured. We have seen a lot of our people have died, and we suspect they're actually killing them because they're not getting any treatments, they're not getting any attention whatsoever. So what do you think? Where are we heading? What can we do, or what should we expect?
First of all, an elected interim government backed by Jamaat Islami and the student fronts, like following their NCP, National Citizens Party, or whatever. So they supported him. And Dr. Yunus said that the student employed him, so he will listen to the student. If you compare to Nepal, similar political change has happened, but the Nepal didn't listen to those who has done this movement or revolution, whatever they say. And she said that election is our final or ultimate priority. But in case of Dr. Yunus, he wanted to stay in power longer because of he want to increase his wealth. He want to get rid of all the judicial cases against him, and he was to expand his business empire, and he was successful in that.
Yeah.
On the other hand, his advisors and his aides who helped him, the more than few hundred complaint against their corruption has been filed in ACC, Anti-Corruption Commission. So what he did, he was not a democrat. He doesn't like democracy. He was a fascist, new sort of fascist he was, and he was trying to keep all Awami League and secular leaders into the prison, including the public representative. I'll give you an example that 124 MPs are arrested in this time,
Yeah.
including 15 women MPs. Initially, more than 80% didn't have any official cases filed against them. But they are arrested, as you said, that case has been given later on. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. Is 124, only 8 people got bail because in for temporary bail. Two, the senior minister died because of inadequate treatment, access to medication, and also mental and physical torture. They died. More than 41 Awami League activists, including the Awami League's or other organization, associated organization, they died in the prison. Even in Bogura, one prison, 5 of them died. So this is inhuman. That is a punishable offense. If somebody died in custody, the authority should give the proper explanation, not saying that everybody is that's people they have died by heart attack. Every heart will stop, everybody will die. But what is the cause of heart attack? What is the
True.
cause of stopping heart? We need to find out.
True.
And as a superior responsibility, Dr. Yunus or his advisors cannot escape from these blames or crimes. At some point, they will be punished for these crimes. They have also killed about 86 extrajudicial killing. It will not go unchallenged. Wherever Dr. Yunus or his advisors or his aides want to go or leave, but this 86 extrajudicial killing or 41 Awami League leader killed in prison, they will haunt him. They will find him. They will bring him for justice. Now, I think as election is over, I'm not yet sure the government is behaving same way because of what I heard that one of the lady, he was the mayor of Narayanganj, Dr. Ivy, she got bail from her 5 cases.
Yeah.
She was arrested against with another cases. It's a fabricated case, politically motivated, and to keep her inside the prison, probably until the next local government election. So I don't know whether, I'm not sure, it's too early to make any comment.
Yeah.
But the way country is moving, I can see they are going to 2001 when BNP was last time in power and what they have done. I pray and hope that doesn't happen. Then they have to leave probably, and we will be having another early election, including Awami League.
Yeah, I know what you mean. While you were talking about, I was actually thinking the inhuman act that we have seen. It's like a movie we haven't seen in like decades. We have seen a lot of our people were brought to actually hospitals while being handcuffed, and that is not something I heard that you're supposed to. Doctors shouldn't be even allowing that. While we have seen that they have died while having handcuffs. We have also seen that just after Yunus got to be in Bangladesh, he has actually released one of the famous and top terrorists that were proven that they did something wrong, and for that they were arrested and they were got out. And then they just freed all the prison cells for like normal citizens, and now they're like captivated inside. It's like completely full. The scenario that we see, the pictures that we see, it feels like something out of movie. We have not seen, we haven't even thought that it can happen in real life, but we are seeing it right now. So yeah, we have talked about referendum, the Gonopod, the July Charter, whatever that we call it. Don't you find it very strange that whenever there is something about that, a lot of last few days we have seen that we are talking about a lot of that. We want justice for the police killings, and whenever that comes up, it's always a certain group of people, which is Jamaat and NCP. They get scared, and they almost right away starts to do like a movement of opposite, that they want like student killing justice. But I feel like we already have that. We all of us wants that to happen. Who killed student, why and when and how were they killed? But whenever we talk about, okay, we have to also find out who killed our police officers, they get quite mad. Why do you think they get mad? Is it because they know they have been related and they are involved?
First of all, I want to say you mentioned about the death in prison with handcuff in hospitals. There was no rule of law in the country.
Yeah.
Country was run by mobocracy, people involving in the mobs. They were doing whatever they like to do. So that's why that happened.
Yeah.
As you said, the police killing, even the official site of the police, they mention 44 police officer has been killed, two answers and one BGB has been killed, and few hundred, 182 are missing, and few hundred was severely injured. The police is the main force who keep the law and order situation in control in every country. Any civilized country, if police is even bullied, the person get penalty or punishment. In your country, if you can say that. But in our country, when hundreds are, injured severely, and at least 44 died, 182 missing, there is no investigations. Police department will do the investigation because they are the authority.
Yeah.
They even forget their colleagues who has died. They do not know how their family are suffering. So what happened at that time during 4th, 5th August? 17 of prisons in Bangladesh were vandalized, looted, and more than 700 extremists were released or escaped from the prison at that time.
Hmm.
They looted around 6,000 modern firearms and more than 650,000 bullets. After that, during the interim government, more than 300 extremists who have been punished for their crimes and they're in the prison at that time, they have been got bailed. So these people are creating unrest in the country with Jamaat, with Hizbut Tahrir, with Ansarullah Bangla team, with NCP. They also supported Dr. Yunus's interim government. That's why at that time there is no law and order situation. This government only probably 2 weeks old, they are following that. And at some point, the current Home Minister told that they will start investigation about the police killing.
Yeah.
But at that time, NCP Jamatis were very scared. They know that what they have done,
Yeah.
and that was the part of the design. So they are very scared, and they put pressure on BNP. But before that, Party Secretary General of BNP declared that they will follow what Home Minister has said. But I saw that Home Minister today said, I didn't make any comment. I do
Exactly.
not know about those responsible person who has taken the responsibility of keeping the law and order situation in the right in Bangladesh. But he is making comments. He is compromising with the threats he's getting from other parties like Jamaat and NCP. So if it is like that, probably they cannot stay in power longer because public, general people of the Bangladesh will not accept that.
True. It's quite obvious, Bhaiya, that they were quite afraid because overnight he has changed his statement. In fact, he actually said today, both at the same time, first of all, that there is no chance of investigating our police murders. And at the same time, he's also saying that we have signed in July Charter where we have promised that we will be protecting our July Jodhada, as they call them. So I think it's quite, like you said, they're quite afraid and they were being threatened. So I was hoping still that BNP being very one of the largest party that we have after Awami League, I was hoping that they will be brave enough to actually go through it and move forward to what's right. But it feels like within 2 weeks they're already quite stepped back and scared. So we'll have to see what happens.
That's because of they have signed the July Charter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one place they actually signed for indemnity of those people who has killed atrocity. So they are given indemnity for killing, for arson, for looting, for vandalizing, for tortures. So probably they rethought that, and they thought that it's better to, as we signed, we do not do anything. But in world standard regulations and law doesn't allow that who has done the crime, he should bring under justice. If they do not do that, there will be trouble in future because we have seen there are few indemnity in our country. We saw that in 1975 when Kondokar Mostak declared indemnity for the Bangabandhu's killer, and Ziaur Rahman make it as a law. But when Awami League came power in 1996 and 2008, Awami League, through the judicial system, they got punished, they hanged. So it doesn't matter which indemnity by ordinance Dr. Yunus does, this culprit, a perpetrator, will get punishment in due course. Unfortunately, I want to say something. Ziaur Rahman make a law in the parliament about the indemnity of the Bangabandhu's killers to justify Khandakar Mostak's ordinance. Now history repeats. As you see that son of Ziaur Rahman, Tariq Rahman,
Yes.
he is doing the same mistake, and he should know every mistake should give price.
True. True. I was also thinking of it, Bhaiya, that historically, what we have seen, BNP or even the former Prime Minister Khalida Zia or Tariq Rahman, they have actually not asked for even Zahra Rahman's murder. They didn't ask for justice. They actually never asked for it to know what happened, who actually killed, who was behind it, what is the actual facts. And we have also seen historically they're one of the party that actually gave rather green signal to Rajakars, that as we call, so they gets to be their ministers, they gets to have the car, and they gets to have the Bangladesh flag while going through navigating through Bangladesh. That is quite disrespectful, and we are actually seeing exact same thing happening this time. They're sitting and having iftar with Rajakars, and it's quite I would say it's quite sad. It's not very expected. Actually, I expected better from them, but this is seems like they're doing exact the same thing that they have done in past.
Actually, it is personal expectation
Yeah.
because when they have accepted them, the main opposition of the parliament,
Mm,
they have to have some sort of relationship with them.
mm,
And also, they shouldn't forget, or nation shouldn't forget what Jamaat has done in 1971,
true.
killing 3 millions of people, violating more than 200,000 women. These crimes are unforgivable. We cannot, nobody can forgive this. So, as because of Awami League is not visible in Bangladesh at the moment, they got one fourth of the majority. When Awami League will come back, this scenario will change, and Awami League will come back in one day. No doubt about that.
Absolutely. I agree. I agree with you. And in fact, the election wasn't really full honest, even though, I mean, first of all, our parties weren't involved. But then we know that how a lot of the Jamaat seat, how they got it. We know how the six positions that NCP has gotten, how they got it by negotiations that Yunus have almost begged Tariq Rahman to give them. Otherwise, they wouldn't have owned. They actually hadn't owned in many places, but they were quite requested. And that's how they got the parliament positions. But I think Tariq Rahman knows better how he always says he has a plan, so I hope he does, because this is going to be bite him back. He's actually having surrounded by radicalized groups in Bangladesh. It's quite frightening. We'll see what he does, and like you said, I truly believe League will indeed return. They always do. As long as Sheikh Hasina is here, she will return for us. I truly believe that.
Thank you.
Bhaiya, we're almost end of our show. Is there anything you would like to add for our audience? Maybe people that are still in Bangladesh, a lot of them are still there quite frightened, so they're not able to openly express themselves. Anything you would like to add for them?
We're waiting and watching what the newly formed government plan, because they have a plan, I heard that.
Yeah.
So we need to see what's their plan and how do they implement. But what we are listening, that's not very encouraging.
Yeah.
First of all, they appointed a person as a foreign minister. Even the current home minister was asking for resignation of that advisor leading interim government. So I do not know. This hatred man can be, how can be there so lovable person, number one. Number two, I do not know they will legalize extortion. Number three is, as you see, there is no correlation between the senior leaders in BNP. It's like in the past. And
True.
what I heard about the family card, because in Sheikh Hasina's time, more than 25 million people got social benefit. The
Mm.
widows, the children, the compromised person, everybody.
Yeah.
Now they are giving 55 million family cards. So I don't know what will happen to those 25 million, those who are getting the benefits. Number two is that these people, especially BNP's activists, they are collecting names and the full details of the applicants of the family card. Instead of that, they're getting extortion. Even my area, they're taking 5,000 per family.
Oh.
We enlisted their names, and also they're taking like 5-6 times more than the expected number of family card. So we want to say what are the new techniques they can invent in future or near future to get more money from the people.
Right.
I Yeah,
It's just
please.
like they're normalizing taking money and using very fancy words to make it seems like something is not so wrong here. This is crazy what they're doing, but we will see how our people reacts because it is very
It's
expensive to have the
only
family card.
2 weeks. It's really too early to make any comment,
Mm,
but we're watching them.
yeah. Thank you so much, Bhaiya, for today. We will have to keep discussing because this is ongoing. Like you said, we have to watch and see what happens, how everything falls, and hopefully we'll have a better future. We believe Aam League will return indeed, and Sheikh Hasina will return for us. That is it for all our audience. Have a good night and Jai Bangla, Jai Bhagwanthu, Bangladesh Chiri Bihok.
Thank you.